Today I want to talk to you about the top retail arbitrage clearance sourcing tips that I use, that I think about when I'm out sourcing for inventory to sell on Amazon. Clearance sourcing is always a lot of fun because you can find items at really low prices that you could potentially sell on Amazon for really good ROI. And so with that just profit potential that's out there, I'm always looking for clearance sales. I'm looking for clearance aisles. And so here's my tips to help you with your sourcing strategies. So number one, know where to look. There are clearance items almost in every single store, retail arbitrage store that's out there. So some of them will have clearance aisles, that's just a whole aisle of clearance items. Some stores will just put their clearance items on the end caps, and the end caps are, if you have a big line, a big aisle of items, well, when you're like turning the aisle and going to the next aisle, the thing that you walk around is the end cap. And there's front-facing end caps that face toward the middle of the store that most people see, and then there's the back-facing or the wall-facing end caps that most people don't see when they're walking around the other way. Most stores like to put their clearance items either in an aisle or at a wall-facing or back-facing clearance end cap, and so they'll put those items back there. There's not as much traffic that sees those items, but they're hoping that the low prices will draw people in to purchase those items. So know where to look. There's certain types of stores that do special stickers, special colored stickers on price tags to label their clearance items. I know Tuesday Morning has teal and yellow and all these different types of stickers to notify you that it's a clearance item. Walmart likes to put these big yellow stickers. Target does these big red stickers. So know where to look, because sometimes the clearance items aren't actually in an aisle or on an end cap. They might just be scattered still in the shelves. Maybe they haven't been moved to an aisle or an end cap yet. So be looking. Another place to look is just by asking an employee. I've asked an employee before, hey, do you have any more clearance items, maybe in the back or somewhere? And they've said, yeah, we've got some more stuff in the back. Do you want to come take a look? Or they'll bring stuff out for me. One time someone said, yeah, we've got a lot more stuff. It's in a storage container out in the parking lot. Do you want to come take a look inside? And I'm like, yes. I got to find stuff that's been stuck in that storage container for over a year that's just been collecting dust out there. I got to scan it, and man, we made a killing with it. So, and we wouldn't have been able to find it if we didn't ask. So ask employees if they have more. There's tons of clearance items that are out there. Sometimes the clearance area is just so packed, they don't have enough room for it, so they've got more in the back. So just ask. So that's number one, how to find them. Number two, look up and down. When you're on a clearance aisle or a clearance end cap, look up and down. A lot of times we ignore the top shelf, we ignore the bottom shelf. So be sure you look up at the top shelf. If you need help, get an employee to help bring some stuff down from you. Don't hurt yourself by trying to climb up there. I know there's been plenty of times I've been in a clearance aisle and someone's asked me if I could help get them something off the top shelf. I'm 6'2" tall, so I'm happy to help them and bring it down. So get some help, but also get on your hands and knees and look at the bottom shelf. In fact, look all the way at the bottom and look in the back because sometimes there's stuff on the bottom shelf all the way stuffed in the back that's really profitable that no one's seeing, and it's just collecting dust, and it's profitable stuff. So if you just take a little bit of time to look a little harder, you'll be able to find more stuff. Tip number 3, don't make any assumptions. A lot of times when we're sourcing, we think, oh, I'm not even going to scan that. Who's going to pay money for that? Or, man, that's a clearance item that's on clearance for $20. Yeah, I'm not going to make any money on that item. It's clearance for $20. Don't make assumptions. You might be able to find really good profit potential items by scanning something that even though you wouldn't pay a lot of money for it, someone else was. Someone else will pay that money, and someone else is paying a lot of money for that. There's times where I was going to source an item. It was a little piece of plastic with a sticker on it. I'm like, there's no way that's profitable. I scanned it. I was able to buy it for $3 and sell it for $40 to $50, and I was able to do that about 20 or 30 times because I was able to find so many of those items that everyone else is overlooking. So don't make assumptions. All right, tip number 4. Check the condition. If clearance, sometimes things are put in a clearance section because the box was damaged or it was sold to a customer and they returned it, but the box was opened and maybe some pieces are missing. Maybe the box is just really scratched up. Maybe there's a plastic case that's got a rip in it or something. Check the condition and be sure that you sell at the appropriate condition on Amazon. When it comes to toys especially, you want to make sure you're selling it as collectible like new if the box is not in gift quality condition. Only say something is new if it's in gift quality condition. If you would not give this gift to a loved one and think that it's new, don't call it new. But you know what? If it's still profitable to sell it as used or collectible like new, then go that route. So always be sure you check the condition. Tip number 5. Check the same stock on items that you found in one store at other stores. So let me give you an example. There was a Leapfrog video game that I found at one store, and it was clearance priced at $5, and it's selling consistently on Amazon for $35. And so I was like, ooh, that's awesome. So that was at one store, one Walmart. I went to the next Walmart, and I found that same Leapfrog game, but it didn't have a clearance sticker on it. It wasn't in the clearance section. It was just in the regular section. But I was like, I wonder if this just hasn't been updated in their system yet. So I took that item, I went over to the price scanner, got a check. Sure enough, it's clearance for $5, but they're not advertising it there at that store yet. They hadn't updated their stickers on that item. So I was able to get all of them before everyone else saw them. So if you find a good item in one store, double check that same item in another store. You might be able to find multiple items of an inventory at a really good clearance price. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6, double check the prices. Now, there are times where there's going to be a clearance item in a clearance aisle and it's got a clearance price on it, and you scan it and you might be like, this is kind of borderline. It might not be very good. I might not be good to get this. Well, if there's a clearance, if there is a price checker computer or an employee with a price scanner nearby, go double check that price. A lot of times, different stores will start off at a certain percentage, and they'll start it off at 10% off clearance price, and then 30% off clearance price, and then 50% off clearance price. Well, that takes someone restickering it every single time the price comes down. And it's possible, and I've had this happen so many times, where I see the item, the price on the sticker, and it's at 50% off, and I'm like, that's okay, it's not really all that great. But I go double check the price, and I realize, it's actually now 70% off. This is doable. This fits my price range. This fits my ROI, numbers that I want to be able to hit. And so double check the prices, because the prices may have changed in the system, but they haven't updated the price actually on the item. So that's it. Double check prices. My last tip is this. Watch the prices when you're checking out. This is really big, because a lot of times, you think that the price on the item is going to come up every single time. Well, obviously, these stores make mistakes. Sometimes items sit in the clearance section so long that their computers actually reset and it goes back up to full price. So double check the prices when you're checking out to make sure that all of the prices are accurate. You don't want to pay full price or 50% off if you're expecting 70 to 90% off those items. So those are the tips that have helped me when I'm doing clearance shopping, clearance sourcing for inventory to send to Amazon, and I hope they will help you too. That's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for watching. If you want to scroll down, click like, leave us a comment or a question. That'd be cool. For more information about turning part-time hours into a full-time income with Amazon FBA, come over to the blog, fulltimefba.com. And for more videos, check us out and subscribe on our YouTube channel. Thanks and have a great day. Bye.